Destroying people is part of the process of feeling more powerful. With their first big discard, they will leave the partner with a big power rush as they truly push the limits of human gullibility and how controllable people really are whenever they are lied to and gaslighted in the right way. They will spend their late 20s and 30s, maybe even early 40s, being promoted at work, sucking in new supply very easily, as there is no subjective semblance of disorder here. Things are going well in the narcissist's mind. So as they start to creep up on the middle years, the tables start to turn. Current partners and secondary partners may leave them. They no longer get the attention and accolades that their younger counterparts may be getting at work now, and old supplies are exposing them on the regular. The workplace may begin ejecting them too, as it becomes clear their work performance is not what they made it out to be in the job interview, and they can no longer rely on the narcissist's strategies and advice of people who used to try to help them, knowing that they lied to them. That's where they may start realizing that they are not normal in some way. It may not be, oh, I'm fully blown narcissistic personality disorder, but they could recognize some type of a pattern in their relationships, whether they're romantic, familial, or friendships. And unfortunately, they have severe issues, such severe issues with their pride that people don't mention enough. So they won't admit it to themselves or others that they need help. So they'll hold on to this thought for possibly a couple of minutes, and that's about it. For the current supply, it is hard because you fell in love with the earlier version of the person that you met. Talking about the narcissist, you thought that this person really truly was the one, and you may still truly think that this person is the one. You got used to the mean and sweet cycles, and you became trauma bonded to this individual as the cognitive dissonance set in. You fell in love with an abuser. When a neurotypical person first meets a new love prospect, we don't know this person at all most of the time. And as the relationship goes on, you will begin to notice that you fell for a dangerous stranger, and the signs were there early on in the beginning of the relationship, but the love bombing caused you to ignore those. Our brains get so flooded with feel-good chemicals in the beginning of this that we missed all of the red flags because we had rose-colored glasses on, and you can't see red very well when you're wearing pink glasses. They get us on the love bombing cycle and of abuse, and it all goes downhill from there as you are devalued and then discarded, only to be hoovered back up into the relationship again if you are still vulnerable and mired helpless in the emotional sea that narcissists leave many of us drowning in. I believe we were in love with the idea of love. Many of us were in love with what turned out to, in fact, be an illusion, a visible illusion. What they presented to you in the beginning was all an act and a complete con as to who they were. So first, you need to accept that this person is who they are and that there is no changing. You are human, so please do not beat yourself up here for falling for the narcissist. Nobody is immune to narcissistic abuse other than those who have been through it and can recognize those red flags in the very beginning. What you need to do, in my opinion, is to look so deeply inside yourself and to ask yourself what exactly it is that you need so badly from others. Not want instead of need, replacing that with want as a totally different thing, because those are two totally different things. As an example, for me, what I need is consideration and respect. Very short and very simple. And if I can't get that from family, friends, or a significant other, I am moving on. What I expect from others is what I give to others. Basically, the golden rule. And it took me a while to point out, to get this point, as I myself was raised by a malignant somatic narcissist. And I was raised to believe that I was damaged goods, and have only just now in my 30s discovered that I am in fact not. So at the end, what helped me the most was coming to terms with reality, and still coming to terms with reality to this day, and sticking with that. I lived in a dream world where my narcissist was all knowing, all pervasive, all beautiful, and all wonderful and marvelous. But in the real world, he needed someone that could pay him that kind of considerable amount of attention to feed his ego or feed his narcissism. He didn't care about me as a person. He cared about what he was extracting from me, what kind of narcissistic fuel and what grade of narcissistic fuel he was extracting. And if there is none to extract, or their appliance becomes broken, because we are nothing but toasters to them, so why not use the word appliance? Do you miss your toaster after it stops working and you throw it in the trash can? No, you don't. It may have been fun in the beginning, and we all have this urge to go back to the golden period that the narcissist showed us in the beginning. But essentially, what they showed us was just what we wished to see. The narcissist was just a mirror, and we too were mirrors. So it's like you're mirroring back, they like a double mirror. And essentially you fell in love with yourself, an idealized version of yourself. And a therapist once told me that I was his enabler at one time, and that is something that I would have never expected to hear or even think about back then. But now that I'm out of the relationship, I can see it objectively, and I can see that that therapist was absolutely right. I stopped enabling him, and I stopped giving him all of the fuel that he was lapping up even years after the relationship, and continues to try to extract from me now almost 3 years later.